Well, we have new members. I think what I'll do before I put the engine on it is paint it. It probably doesn't matter. I'm sure it doesn't matter at all to the engine, but it kind of matters to me. I'd like to have it look nice, because I mean, what the heck? It's YouTube, right? And how things look matters. So yeah, I'll find me some blue paint. I kind of like that color. I'll find me some blue enamel and give it a paint job, and I'm going to have to make some motor mounts, which I can do, and we will fashion up a way to get this engine to fit in that and run. And my thoughts is I want to put this engine together with everything attached. In other words, I want the alternator, the water pump, the power steering pump, which I'm going to try to put in the Rambler, which doesn't have power steering yet, but I'm going to try to make that happen. I think I'm going to get a new set of exhaust manifolds to go on it, and I've got another intake and carburetor right up there. So I would like to have it completely together so that I can put it on here, get it running with the radiator active, and that will allow me to have a place to set the valves, adjust the carburetor, just kind of go through everything before I even pull the motor out of the Rambler. And then once I'm ready, it should be a pretty quick swap to pull this one out and put that one in, except for the part where I'm going to be adding that power steering pump that we talked about the other day. And that is yet to be explored as far as fitment and everything goes, but that is also on the list. So, yeah. It's a little chilly today, and I've got some things I need to do that do not involve this. I am curious about a few things here. When I first saw this, I thought this was a fuel filter like you would have on a diesel. But then the guy I bought it from, he said, no, I think that's an air cleaner. And then I got to looking at it. It almost looks like it had a water hose running into the bottom of it and possibly out of the top. And I know there have been times when people have used an engine for irrigation back in the old days. So that's kind of got me wondering if there's a water filter in that. But I don't want to get my hands too dirty exploring it today. But that is something that I'm going to want to do. Okay, so I'm going to walk away from this because I got other things on the list for today, but I'll be coming back to it, and then we'll take it from there. I got to fabricate me up some motor mounts here in a little bit for this thing, for that Chevy to fit onto it. You know what I might do, since we are having such a nice day over here, is just bring that engine over and set it in there with this lift. And I think the way I might do that is to jack the engine. It's called a lift. It's not a lift, it's a stand. I believe what I can do is take this jack and jack it up. This is put in my floor jack. Some floor stands under it. And then maybe that lift would come up under there. See how wide these legs are on it. They're going to be .33 inches. They're going to come pretty close, but I believe I can put my stand out on the edge. Let's see what we can do with that. like that this stand has wheels that turn front and back. My other stand up in Maine, the front wheels don't turn. It makes it a lot harder to get it where you want it to go. This one here is much easier. Now, that's just a mock-up to kind of help me get it where it needs to be, and I'm going to need to make measurements for it. But my thinking is, it needs to be centered in here. This harmonic balancer needs to be higher than that. Of course, if it sits back a ways, and I'm not sure how close it'll need to come. I'll need to measure the fan and everything on the Rambler. Sounds like Bobby's coming over here. I hear a truck. I don't know if he's coming to see me or just on his way out to go somewhere. Sounds like he's coming to see me. I can usually hear him coming up his driveway. I hope he is driving his truck. He's got a good looking old red and white Ford pickup truck. Yeah, there it is. Oh, and it's sounding good too. Well, this is perfect. Sounds like he's got that burnt valve fixed on it. That couldn't be perfecter. Hey, I think you fixed it.
Yeah.
I don't hear that valve burning anymore.
It's still skipping.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean it runs okay.
Uh-huh.
When I have it, hi YouTubers. When I have it in low,
yeah,
and I've got some RPMs on it, runs fine.
Yeah.
Once the RPMs drop down to about 18 to 15,
yeah,
then it starts skipping again.
Starts that skipping?
Yeah.
Huh.
And it ticks. I mean, I changed that front seal.
Yeah.
It's not leaking any oil.
Yeah.
But I filled it up and changed the oil and everything, and it's still running. It's dropping off on the oil, so
huh.
I think maybe burnt valve.
Well, I would think a burnt valve would do it all the time. Did you put a new timing chain in it, or is it still the original one?
Still the original one.
Okay.
Might be, yeah. Probably should have done that when I put that front seal on.
A timing chain will do a lot of things, but they don't usually make it skip like that.
Yeah.
Let me turn this thing off. Or leave it on.
This beauty. I came over to look at this beauty. Now, I can't believe it. I woke up this morning and I said, honey. She goes, what? And I said, honey, look. She goes, what? And I said, look out there. And she goes, what? And I said,
sunshine.
Shadows. Real honest to goodness shadows.
Yeah, sunshine in here.
Oh, this is pretty.
Yeah.
It's a house, ain't it?
Well, it's the same size as what's in there, except this one's got the Fuelie heads.
Yeah, I mean, it's had some internal work.
And it's got the big cam.
Yeah,
see these head marks, that's the double hump, camel hump heads right there that they put on the early Corvettes. And he's got it all rebuilt, mains and inserts and piston rings and new rods and new a lot of new stuff. And I got some stuff Jerry gave me over time to put on here.
Oh, that is sweet.
Yeah. See, I got this in.
Would that be considered a rat rod motor?
No.
A rat motor?
No.
What is the rat? Chevrolet rat?
Well, I mean, rat rod basically just. I guess you could call my car a rat in general because.
No. The motor. There's a motor that's called a rat.
Oh, you're talking about the 409s and the 348s. Yeah. Yeah, we used to call them back in the old days before anybody ever invented the rat rod term. Right. The 348s and the 409s had those valve covers and those heads that came down, and they shaped weird.
Yeah.
They had a little thing right there. Yeah, and I think they called them that because people blew them up so much. Because they had so much power, everybody was out racing them. They was blowing them up just left and right back in the old days.
I remember a buddy of mine had a 55 Chevy he bought, and the guy had put a rat motor in it, and it was like a 409, I think.
Oh, yeah.
God, that thing was scary fast.
They are fast. They were fast,
He couldn't keep a drive line in it.
That was the first big blocks.
Yeah, we blew U-joints.
Yeah.
Twisted a drive shaft one time.
Yeah.
Got some new U-joints in it. New tires, got out there.
Twisted a drive
Twisted
shaft.
the drive shaft.
That's
That shows
great.
you how much torque that bad boy had.
That's great.
Oh, this is beautiful. I like your engine stand.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't kick it too hard. It's up on jack stands so that this will go under it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to make a motor mount. But my idea is to set this in here and get it running, set the valves and the timing and the carburetor work and do everything. Yeah. And then once it's ready to go, pop this out and pop that in.
That's the way the professionals do it.
Yeah.
They do all the tuning outside the box.
And I'm also going to put power steering. I got a power steering box up there for that Rambler.
Mm-hmm.
And if it'll fit, I'm going to put it in there and put a power steering pump on this. I believe I can get power steering on it. So, and I'm not sure what this was set up for, but it looks to me like some kind of diesel is what I'm thinking. Because I believe this is, although I thought this was a diesel fuel filter, but then that's an air cleaner.
Yeah.
That's what that other guy said.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that would connect to something somewhere, right? I mean...
Well, I'm sure it's got a port somewhere for your carburetor.
Yeah.
But why would you do that if you got it on an engine stand? You don't really need an air cleaner.
I don't know. Unless they could have used this to power a generator or a water pump or something like that.
That's true.
It came out of a factory somewhere. You know, this radiator's like from a 40s.
It's pretty...
It looks very much like a 40 Ford radiator, except it would have two spouts here, and this has one here and one here, so I'm thinking it could have been a 40 Chevrolet.
The fan's great.
Yeah.
It didn't...
It's on the wrong side, so somebody took it out of something and put it in there. But if that thing doesn't work, that radiator's worth what I paid for it.
Oh, really? How much did you give for that whole stand?
$200.
Really?
The whole thing.
Wow.
And if you bought a radiator, that radiator would fit in a Model A girl shell. You pay $200 for a radiator that would fit in one of them any day.
Well, hell, the metal's worth $100.
Yeah, it weighs. I bet it weighs a lot. So I got gauges and a switch over here and everything, you know. And
oh, I didn't even notice wiring and everything, huh?
yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I mean, that's
temperature. Is that what, oil pressure?
Well, this is temperature, and I'm guessing
ammeter.
That's an ammeter. So there used to be an oil pressure gauge here, I'm guessing.
I think I got an oil pressure gauge.
I got one.
Okay.
Well, I got one up here that's going in the in the Rambler.
Yeah.
And I got one up here on the shelf that's going to go in it. The one that's in there is junky old something or another. And
somewhere I got a son, because I bought one for the pickup truck and forgot about it. And
well,
then
see,
buying another one.
I got that, and that's the kind with the metal lines.
Yeah.
So
that's what that one is.
yeah.
No. Actually, the one that I had the metal line. It was a Sun.
Yeah.
But the one I got in there, I think I paid $12.
Yeah. Well, the one in Rambler right now has got plastic lines on it, and I never have. I've always been nervous about them. But I figured those big old pieces we picked up at that metal yard, I can use them to make engine mounts with.
Talk about those 4-inch square.
Yeah.
Remember, I still got those.
I got a bunch of them down there in the woods. I can do that with.
Sweet.
Yeah. I'm kind of, I wasn't gonna mess with it today, but the sun was shining. I got out here and I thought, well, dang, I just feel like doing stuff.
Well, we got a good fire going, and first thing up